This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
You are what you watch. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Talk to Harry. My name, obviously, is Harry Tambuadco. I am not the star of the show. I just like to host it. Now, my purpose here is to bring out the issues from the resource people that we ask as guests. But most importantly, to bring up the current events straight into our faces. Ladies and gentlemen, it is splattering all over the camera simply because everyone is on the streets. The commonality is quite simple. Bring down he who is lying. Bring down he who is stealing. Bring down he who serves nobody, because after all, what services are in order? The trains that almost go off and are about to kill soon a number or 100 or 1,000 number of people after a price increase? License plates that can't be delivered after we are made to pay for it. Similar to the water issue. They've charged us and built no dams. There is no infrastructure. There's an impending electric problem that's facing us this month with brownouts that have already begun. Our airports that are clogged and can't get off or land on the tarmacs, much less all that issue and bad services that we're confronted with once we walk into the airports. And what of the infrastructure? Exactly. What infrastructure? And to think these are private partner relationships, not necessarily government. Tell me, what services in your mind actually works? Aren't they due us? Aren't our taxes from us, from our hard work? Be it just the VAT on all purchases made, much less income tax? What services that are due us are actually coming to you? Sad, very sad, devastating as it is, we are in a quagmire of what we call no service. Now, the commonality, let's go after it. We have one cry. Let's change the government. Tonight's topic is exactly that, the transition government. What exactly is it? We will expound. With us, we have Attorney Jose Malvar Villegas, who's with us, who is the chair, the president of the Citizens Crime Watch. A political party, mind you, but an advocacy that has lasted for decades. We also have Mad Against Dynasty, the chair, the founding chair, Mr. Ting San Diego, who will help expound to us exactly what is the next step so that you and I will not be lost when it comes to the streets. Galit tayo lahat. It's the same thing, makibaka galit. But then what happens after that? Di nanalo na naman yung Yellow Army. Palitan na po natin pangalan ng Pilipinas. The Yellow Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we do, gentlemen? Thanks for being here. Let's ask Attorney Villegas, not Ting.
Yeah.
You are left, right, and center. Where do you stand today with what's going on? Sa center ka pa rin?
Well, I will not get out of the center. That's the safest place to be.
But at this point, everyone is saying you're either with us or against us. Di ba?
Yes. So if I have to be against the right and the left, so be it. Because, our principal objective, that's why we have a coalition with the Movement Against Dynasty, is first to dismantle Dynasty. Dynasty has reached the barangay level, where even the children of a barangay chairman is either the member of the Sangguniang Kabataan or Barangay Kagawad. We made a study that more than 60% of barangay are controlled by family dynasty. Barangay.
Probably more. Probably even more. Yes.
Barangay. But in the municipality, that's more.
87, 88%.
In the provinces, my God, that's hitting already 90%.
90%.
And of course, in the national level, the Aquino dynasty. You've just said about the Kuhangko kind of rule. That's the Aquino Kuhangko dynasty.
Yes.
You know, well, you just mentioned that my grandfather is a national hero.
Yes, General Malbar.
He was the last general to surrender and the president of the Revolutionary Republic during the Philippine-American War.
May history talaga pamilya niya.
So, when he surrendered, the American continued the practice of the Spanish colonial power by deliberately, dealing with family dynasty. So that they only have to talk to a few number of families. The dynasty started when the Spaniard took over in 1521. And then
That's how they subjected the people, subjugated
through
the Filipino dynasty.
The families, the ilustrados, and the mestizos, many of whom are still around, and they did not only organize the political dynasty, they also organized the economic dynasty that's still inherited by the Spanish,
Until today.
Until today.
May remnants pa rin eh.
May remnants pa rin. So the Americans just took over what the Spaniards have started. So the movement against dynasty and the Citizens Crime Watch, and particularly our political party, which incidentally is not a new one. The name might be new, but the Lapiang Manggagawa, which is LM, is the third oldest political party in the Philippines.
Registered na. You registered already.
Of course.
Matagal na.
The third oldest political party. The LM coalesced with Ramos. And that's why Lakas Tao and was born because of LM, Lapiang Manggagawa. Then after that, Reforma LM was organized by me and General De Villa.
Oh, okay.
That
Renato
sparked
De Villa, yes.
EDSA 2. That's Reforma LM. That sparked EDSA 2. Now, when Ebdani was elected as our chairman, Governor Ebdani of Zambales, we changed the name to Partido ng Manggagawa at Magsasaka. So it's not only the Lapiang Manggagawa or the labor, but we now included the Magsasaka. That's the new one. But
Labor
it's
and
just
farmers.
the name. It's just the name that's the new one. But it is circa 1963 or 52 years ago.
Grabe,
Just like the Labour Party of England, it took 52 years to be in power. And we intend to place a Labour government as a system change by 2016. If, of course, Smartmatic do not think otherwise.
It's interesting na mga foreigners pa ang kausap natin para mahalal kung sino ang dapat na Pilipino.
Well, it's the foreigners. It's the foreigners. Because even our Mama Sapano is run by the CIA, the Americans. It's always the foreigners.
Let's not forget the Malaysians with their interest in Sabah.
Well, they are sort of the surrogate of the American interest, the Malaysians.
And their spokesperson, si Ferrer and Deles. Diba? Yan ang mga spokesperson nila, di ba? Yan ang...
That's why they were joking us that, of course, Bernie is close to the American interest, CRC, while the other one is the left. Well, I'm close to the interest of the Filipino people.
Can they not file charges against Deles and Ferrer for treason or whatever?
Well, interestingly enough, Congressman Biazon has already put that and asked them immediately to step down. But it is obvious that their interests go a little too far together with the president's objective, which is still unknown to us. No? Why the Bangsamoro is so close to them? Interestingly enough, Ed Cabalu formed another party recommending and saying straight out that the Bangsamoro Basic Law does not only go against the Constitution, but it is incorrect because it does not represent everybody else. In this specific case, the Lumans, di ba?
Yeah,
So,
madami.
imagine someone from their ranks, initially MNLF, which they all
Spokesman.
came from.
The spokesman.
Spokesman. Managing to make that proposal in the middle of all of this. Let's go back first to MAD. Where is the dynasty issue first? Because you've been fighting this thing for some time.
Yes, Larry. Yeah.
You've been fighting this, you have had this single advocacy for close to 3 years now.
Almost,
At the
yeah.
birth, actually more, almost 3 years
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
So where is that going?
Well, we're going strong. The best thing now that happened to us is our coalition with the CCW.
So your party is growing, coalescing with different
Yeah,
parties.
we're not a party.
Oh, but your
Yeah.
group, your advocacy.
Our advocacy,
Same
yes.
objective.
Yes, same objective. And we feel that the majority of the Filipino people really are tired of dynasties. As Joe here said, it has transformed through so many years, but it was in 1987 that they placed this in the Philippine Constitution. So therefore, the dynasties in all the studies of the academy is the principal cause of poverty.
But the Constitution, it was incomplete because it left it again to Congress.
Yes.
And with Congress befitting of dynasty rule, they will not take it out. We both know that.
Yeah, no, Harry.
But you've gone so far. I've been reading in newspapers.
Yes,
You've been having committee hearings.
Hearings in the
And-
Senate
Yeah,
and
in the
in
Senate. And you've
Congress.
already moved forward.
Yes.
Malapit na.
Malapit na.
But the last mile seems to be the most difficult.
Yes, yan ang problema, whether the congressmen or the senators will vote themselves out
They won't.
of the circle. But anyway, we still have the last try to put an end to dynasty. This is already the campaign. Yun yung mano-mano na kampanya sa taong bayan. Isa lang kada angkan para sa bayan. If we could put this in the minds of the Filipino electorate, then we might still succeed in at least diminishing the dynasties from 80% to at least 30 or 20% would be good enough, Larry.
Yeah, I remember you said that.
Yeah.
Attorney, other than dynasty, what other commonalities do you have?
Well, if you're now talking about the political party, which coalesce with the movement against dynasty,
Yes.
the three principal program of the Partido ng Manggagawa at Magsasaka, of course, is to dismantle dynasty.
Dynasty, one.
Number two is to establish a labor parliamentary type of government.
Labor
Parliamentary.
Okay.
Like the one in Spain, England, Australia, New Zealand, Israel.
Boses na manggagawa talaga.
Because right now, only 1% controls the entire political leadership as against 99%, which is labor and manggagawa. Let's reverse it. That
Okay.
it is now the labor that will handle the affairs of government.
Wala nang trapo. We will try to
Paano yung,
put them
di ba
aside.
sino yung pilay na senator noon?
He's our chairman.
Yeah.
Boy Herrera.
He's the
Herrera.
chairman.
Herrera.
Yeah, chairman
Di ba
of
champion
the...
yan sa labor?
Kaya nga, chairman of the Partido ng
kasama
Manggagawa at
nyo.
Magsasaka.
Okay, oo.
I'm the president. Former Secretary of Labor, Ruben Torres, is the Secretary
Yes,
General.
yes. Okay.
And the chairman of the Overseas Labor is Congressman Roy Señeres of the OFW
Correct.
family party list. So we have a complete power in the Partido ng Manggagawa at Magsasaka.
Yours is a political party. Yours is an advocacy.
advocacy.
You,
Yes.
ayaw mo mag-political.
No, we
have no
have no
interest
intention
for
whatsoever.
positions.
Yeah, no.
You just want to bring down
Yeah,
dynasties.
that's why people trusted us, because we're doing this without any political agenda of getting something in return. No, we're just doing this for country.
Advocacy.
For country.
So, going back to your political party, are you already complete? Are you together to run, to challenge the 2016 polls? Will you have a congressional lineup? Will you have a senatorial lineup? And better yet, grassroots from the governor
Complete,
down.
yeah.
Well, you see, just like the English experience, through the years, they went into coalition with the
Oh, puro
different...
coalition yun eh.
That's what I've been doing. I coalesce with the Ramos Lakas Tao, which became Lakas NUCD MDP, De Villa, and myself
How strong are you now?
established. Well, with the TUCP, that's 2 million strong already.
Kasama mo na ang TUCP
Oh, yes,
rin.
yes. With the TUCP, that's already 2 million strong. And if I have to include the Citizens Crime Watch as an advocacy against criminality, that's another 1.3 million. The crime watch that I established 22 years ago.
But this group, these numbers of 2-3 million all in, 3.5 million, other than being card bearers with identification, are they command strong? Can you say, okay, we're going to go for our party? I mean, kaya ba? I mean, to summon the people, to summon the votes. So
yes, yes. They command strong because Citizens Crime Watch was one of the lead petitioner in dismantling DAP and PDAF. And then I, as chairman of the CCW, was the first one to have filed criminal cases against 5 senators and 23 congressmen.
I remember now. We're going to have to take a break, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, once before we go off, in the streets, we have seen many groups that have come out in the last 2 weeks. Now, it's persisting now with the UP students, no less, paid for by government. And soon, maybe even the private schools, which is when there was critical mass, everybody did come out. The first people power, it was really pushed together by no less Enrile and former President Ramos. And they handed the reins to Cory Aquino, who was then the popular figure. Interestingly enough, not the professional Laurel, who fought all his life against the dictator. As things are developing, the problem here is, who will lead all these different groups that are going down to the streets? Kumbaga, if you're in prison, ang problema ng Bureau of Prison, yung Batang City Jail, yung Sputnik, kung ano-ano, sila, magkapreso na sila, nagbabanatan pa sila. In other words, pag hindi nagsama-sama lahat to, ang mananalo dito ay ang Liberal Party at ang tawag dito, the Yellow Country. We'll be right back. Stay with us.